Right, today we need to get this thing prepped for teardown. I have some time coming up in the next week where I have a few days that I can work on this project, and my goal is to have everything pulled off, clean the frame up, all this type of stuff, and paint it, and then get my other motor stuck in here. So this one obviously has to come out, and all this stuff has to come off. So what I need to do right now, I got to pull the tank off, and I'm going to pull the wiring harness off, and maybe the carbs tonight. I'm going to get as much of the peripherals off as I can right now, because this coming up this next week, I really think I'm going to get my other motor mounted in here. I need to get this down to where it's just the motor, because pulling the motor out, putting the motor in is super easy. Pulling the motor out, cleaning the frame, putting the motor back in is kind of what I'm looking to do. So let's get to it. Not even. This is the one I want to use. I have a complete motorcycle and a complete XS400 sitting over there, and my thought is I'm going to start it and see if it starts and make sure all of these things work, like the coils on that one and all that. And I think I may use all of that that's on that one. This wiring harness is crap because this is the fuse box right here, but the connectors and stuff are good on it, so won't get rid of it just yet. I think I'm just gonna keep let me pull these off. There, cool. Pull as much of this off as I possibly can. The right hand control. This is the ignition. Ignition on this is going to stay on this. I don't know what it's for, to be honest with you. Let's just leave that on there for right now. I don't know what this is. This is some type of box on there. Pull these coils. Pretty blue. Hideous. $10mm, who'd have thunk it? Oh, you're probably back there shaking, aren't you? I was trying to figure out how to set the camera and make this decent and work, and put it right on the back of the bike, and when the bike moves. And you don't want to drop that. What happens when you get old? You grunt when you drop stuff. Now, on the Kawasaki, when I pulled that apart, I didn't do real good documentation of where the wiring went. Had a little struggle once I got down into the back end of it. But quite honestly, everything falls into place where it's supposed to go. Alright. And everything, it only plugs into one thing, so I mean, this is the ignition, and it's a 3-pronger, and there's only one 3-pronger, and it's right on top of the motor, so it's all right there. oils are off. Pretty simple. Pretty simple operation right there. So right now I got two sets of carburetors because I got the carbs on this, got the carbs on the other one. The guy I bought that other one from said that he had been through the carburetors. He was a diesel mechanic, so I don't know if he knows anything about carburetors, but he also said he works on motorcycles a lot, so I guess I would assume that everything on there is pretty good. Here. Rear brake light signal switch. There we go. I don't know what this box is for. Get that off with one of my broken screwdrivers. There we go. And it's all loose, I believe. Oh, I got one more connection right there. Where's that going to? There's another relay or something up there. Huh. And a couple more hookups here. I don't really know what that is. Or how it's connected. I guess it slides forward. Since I'm painting the frame, or I'm going to do some work on it and paint it, my thought, I don't know if it comes out forward or it goes out sideways. I can't see the damn thing. Come forward. You know what? Let's do this. Let's unplug it. I don't know if I got it. There it's on. Once I see it, I know if I got it right. Now it comes off sideways. I probably would have left that on there if I was just swapping wiring harnesses. But since I plan on doing some work on the frame and painting everything, decided to go ahead and pull that off. It didn't need to come off. There was a plug on it. Plug right there. Goes to the motor. There's the wire harness. Wire harness is out. That easy. And it all lays right here. And most everything is right there. If you're plugging back into factory, it all goes right back into where it plugs into, where it plugged into. So the only ones that weren't sure were on the motor itself. So really, this is about as far as I had planned on getting it tonight. I just have these pods sitting on there. So I got a set of carburetors, which are probably in poor condition at best. Oh, there's a new jet right there, a new adjuster screw thingy right there. They're pretty stinking dirty though. Really, honestly, they are. So, pull a couple other things off. I was going to try to get this chain off too. Chain's garbage, so if it gives me any problems, I have a special grinder removal technique. It's a 2-in-1. Oh, you move. Come back. It's a 2-in-1 exhaust. And it looks kind of cool. I do not see a master link on this one. So you know what that means. Grinder time. Unless, why in the world did somebody put it on the back side? I wouldn't think they would, but you know. I think we're going to take this one off the easy way. Well, I consider it the easy way. Chains off. A rusty old whopped out chain. Look at that. Tell me that ain't. They ain't supposed to do that, in case you didn't know. That one's served a good life. It's DUN done. Just trying to get it as far as I possibly can tonight, so that it's ready to just undo the motor mounts and pop out. The intake boots on these are so dried out. They're in terrible condition. Ready for the shakes. See, it's been welded right there. It looks like they touched it here too. I don't know if they like cut it and tweaked it and then welded it back together. I don't know why they were doing that, but whatever. I'm just going to pitch this one right in the trash. Hear that? That's the sound of me pitching it right in the trash. What do I need for... oh, that tap. Maybe. There, that was easy enough. Didn't even have to hit it. I'm going to save this cable because it leaves a hole, and I think what I'm going to do is take this thing here where it mounts into the motor, cut it off, fill it with something, and then put it in there just so that it's not leaking anything out of that. And we're done. So tonight I pulled the coils and the wiring harness and the carburetors off and a few other little things, and this motor is essentially ready to come out. I got to take these off of the top end here, have to take these off down here, and there's one single bolt back here that goes through that needs to come out, and then this motor can come out. And it needs to. It is gross, it is dirty. I'm sure it works, but it ain't gonna work for me. So gotta come out. And it's ready now. That is everything. They actually come out pretty easy. There's enough space right here. I'll probably take this off, the oil filter. And they're not super heavy. And there's a little weight to them, but they're not super heavy. And it's real simple once you've got all those things off to just kind of move it up and out. Goldwing motors, not so much, but this one, pretty easy. The chain's off, everything's off. It's ready to be pulled out. Alright, here's what we're going to do tonight. This bad boy's coming out. Got a little bit of time. It's 7:25. Let's see how long this takes. You got to take these off, and this out. Pop this thing out. I don't think it's going to take a half an hour. So, I already had that one loose. Let's just see. This way. When I take these things apart, I always try to set them back together the way I pulled them apart if possible. Just so I know where the bolts go and I know how the pieces were sitting on the machine. So Yamaha put these rubber bushings in here to try to help with vibration from the motor. It's a great idea and probably works, but this one here looks a little rough maybe. I think I got two others laying around here. One other and then on the parts bikes. There's the top motor mount. How long that take? A minute and a half. I gotta move up to a 14. The top one is a 12 mil, down here is a 14. I'm going to pull these out and see what happens. I don't know if this motor is going to drop. I guess maybe should have took these first now that I think about it. Take the bottoms out first. It's hanging from the top. I guess it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. No, I'm off. Dropping stuff. Come on. There we go. Set this aside. Bottom, take this bracket out. Oh, this one doesn't have it. Again, putting everything back on where it was. Bolt wise, I know where everything's at and where it goes. Oh yeah, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if I can get this in there somewhere. No reliable right here. This jack's been around for a while. What was happening was this was binding up. Not letting this bolt come out because of the pressure on it. This bolt still doesn't want to come out. I got a jack and I'm still down on my hands and knees. Maybe I'm just not using it right. Maybe it's what keeps me young. 7:30, been at it 5 minutes. Five minutes in and this front and top are off. Now I got to remove this one, and I have a 14 on here. It's not acting like that's what it is, though. Seems like it's a little bit bigger. I'll put a 15 on there. Probably make it work. You know what? I need this too. Nope. That's rolling around down it. 15. 14 didn't want to sit on the... Wow. What the heck size is it? Well, the 14's not sitting down on that bolt. The 15's rolling around on the top. Guess what I put on there to make it work? A 9/16. 6-point deep well. I love my 6 points and I love my deep wells. The other one's got one of those. Now, we have to extract that bolt. I have a special tool to extract that bolt. It is a broken Phillips head screwdriver. This was a fantastic screwdriver. It was a magnetic tip. Worked fantastic. I used it many times till the tip broke. And it didn't break because I was doing that with it. It just broke one day. Set it down on a screw and give it a twist, and off it came. And it was done. So that rear bolt is all one piece. I think that got buggered up is why the 9/16 worked. It's a pretty crappy looking nut. Alright, we're ready to take her out. I think I'm going to pull it out that way so you can see. You're going to hear some funny noises when I start pulling it out. Okay, so not much pressure on it. Probably didn't really need to hook that up. It's sitting right here on the oil drain. So what I need to do is pick the back up, lift it up, and pull it out. Make sure that clears. May end up having to take that off. Nope, it's gonna come out. Woo! Oh, nice. Ha! Hit the side cover off. The oil's leaking right out the side. Down my pants, all over the floor. Nice. There you have it. The frame is opened up. And I'm leaking oil all over my floor. I didn't want it to drain down there. Let's tip it that way. I gotta get some rags on that. Anyways, back to the really impressive stuff. It's 7:35. It took 10 minutes. Of course, everything was already off. It took 10 minutes to undo those bolts and pull that motor out. Not a hard thing to do. Let's keep these things. This was hooked on somewhere, somehow. I don't know what on what. Okay. There's the frame. There's the motor. I've got really cold motor oil running down my pants. But she's done. I knew I could do it. We're good. Done for the night.